Hi, everybody, and welcome for another episode here of Expose Your Worth. I'm bringing on a licensed realtor out of Wichita, Kansas. Her name is Erika Choriego, and Erika is with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. You're going to find out a little bit more about what Erika does and what kind of realtor she really is. Stay in tune for this show coming up next. Welcome, everybody. This is another episode here. I'm your health plan coach, Oscar, and today I brought on a guest here from Wichita, Kansas. I've got Erika Choriego. Erika Choriego is with us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, Oscar.
And I'm going to let you kind of introduce yourself a little bit, but you are a realtor, but I want you to tell me who are you with and what do you do?
All right. Well, yes, as you mentioned, I am a licensed real estate agent out of Wichita, Kansas. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, PenFed Realty. I'm from Wichita originally, lived here most of my life. I did take a few years after college to go explore the mountains of Colorado, but I eventually moved back home. This is where family is. I love the community. So this is where I decided to start my real estate career.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing that there in Kansas, Erika?
I've been in real estate just a few months, so I am a newer agent. It's been something that's been on my mind, though, for years. I've always loved home decor, looking through houses. Like, my idea of fun is going to check out open houses on Sundays from 2 to 4. I just love architecture, anything to do with home design. And I also have a genuine love for connecting with people and helping them. So it was a thing that I toyed around with for years in the back of my mind. And just this last year, actually, I decided to go ahead and take the plunge and take the courses, get my license, and get rocking and rolling.
So you probably had the choice of being with different types of agencies to work through. So tell us what's different about Berkshire Hathaway. What do they have to offer the realtor industry?
Yeah, so you're totally right. So many different options to choose from. And I definitely took my time getting to know a few different brokers in town and checking out what they did have to offer for new agents, because I knew that that was going to be a huge resource that I was going to have to leverage as someone lacking experience. What can the brokerage offer me, and how can the tools and resources that they have in place help me be successful in my career? So part of it is honestly just about personal preference and fit. You really have to make sure that there's a good relationship and a trust and something there with your broker who's going to be overseeing your first few years of business, who's going to be guiding you through some of these first transactions and really helping you get your feet wet. And so first and foremost, my broker is amazing. And I just knew out of the gate that the people that I had met within the company were people that I could really see myself aligning with and aligning with the way that they conduct themselves doing business. One of the things that's very important to me is this is my career. This is my name. This is, who I'm attaching myself with. And so I need to make sure that in terms of professionalism, in terms of customer service, that all those things align as well. And so if you look at Berkshire Hathaway, nationwide, or even just in the Kansas market, they are above and beyond, a lot of their competition. And they just had a lot of tools set up to help someone like myself who is motivated and ready to get out there and start helping people and start making these transactions and really learning about the industry. It was just a no-brainer because the tools that they had available and the coaching that they were going to help me with, it was just like, the perfect fit essentially for me.
You're right. I mean, a lot of agencies are there to help agents. I know a handful of new agents too. In the years I've gotten to know them, that they just go through a lot of different struggles and growth in their profession. So yeah, you're right. And not only are agents struggling, so obviously buyers and sellers, so tell us a little bit about, are you more of a listing agent or are you on both sides of the equation?
Yeah, so I do both sides of the equation, and each side of that equation presents its own struggles right now in the market. We're recording this in March of 2021. So right now in Wichita, especially, there's not a lot of inventory. So, for my buyers, I'm having to really be quick and showing them what they want. And if they like it, being creative and aggressive to help them secure that home. We're in a situation where there's multiple offers going on a single property. So the last thing that I want is my buyers to feel stressed or to feel, the ick, I think, that can come sometimes with
Right.
some of these more stressful, bigger transactions. It's like you find a home, you love the home, and then your offer doesn't win. And going through that over and over and over is what I want to help my buyers avoid. So, I like to try and think outside of the box, and I like to be creative so that I can help those buyers secure the home of their dreams. On the flip side, people are like, I think a lot of people right now aren't necessarily listing or selling unless they need to, just because they're scared. But I like to think of myself on the listing side as a pricing and marketing strategist. Because if we can price your home right in the market right now, then there's nothing really greatly wrong with the home, then there should be no reason why that's not selling quickly. And you should have multiple offers to choose from. So either side of the transaction that I work, I have a few main things that I like to focus on. And that's obviously professionalism and customer service, but also I want to carry as much of the stress from the transaction as much as possible to take that off of my client. And I prioritize that on either side of the deal that I'm working.
Yeah. I'm, have been thinking for a while and looking for different types of opportunities to when to buy. And it seems like I hit these milestones where I'm ready to buy and I hold back, and I'm ready to buy and I pull back. Do you see that happening with buyers right now? Are they just tentative, or and what do you do? Is it something normal in your industry to deal with?
Totally normal. There's always that what if, it's like, okay, I've hit this milestone, or I've saved this money, or now is the time. And then there's always like that what if. And especially in the last 12 to 15 months of our country, politically and otherwise, with everything going on in the world, there is a lot more, I think, what ifs about a larger transaction like this, whether you're buying or whether you're selling. How is it going to impact me? What if interest rates? What if this? What if that? And the brain just starts going. And I think that one thing that I take into it is to put myself in their shoes and understand that a lot of these concerns, a lot of these, when we want to push the brakes, it's totally understandable because these concerns are valid. So obviously I want my clients to feel understood, and I don't want them, I use that phrase a lot, to feel the ick with me, to feel pressured one way or the other. Ultimately, when I'm involved in a transaction, I'm working for you. So if you decide that now's not the time, I'm going to respect that. I'm going to stay in touch. And I'm going to also be able to be your expert in the industry so that those questions and those what ifs, you can bring them to me. And it's not my job to force you one direction or the other. It's my job to educate you so that you can make the best decision, an informed decision for you, for your finances, for your family, all of that kind of stuff. But, I think right now, there's always that what if. And so people are like, well, what if the market gets better? Should I wait? Sure. But what if the market gets worse? I mean, no one knows what's going to happen. So at the end of the day, I just fall back to education and being the go-to expert for my clients, and to really make them feel at ease, whichever way they decide.
Well, you said a mouthful, number one, and I think you're right. When a realtor works with someone, it's definitely important to know all aspects. And what would you say is probably one of your biggest strengths when you work with someone? What does Erika bring to the table?
Erika brings to the table a lot, but I bring to the table a genuine interest in the other side of the party and their needs and their wants. Like, again, I'm working for them. So it's an opportunity for me to wow them with customer service, to care about them beyond the transaction, like to see them as an actual human and not just a dollar sign or not just an address in this case. Right. But, I want to know, like, in the future, how can I be of service to you? Maybe you're not buying or selling, but that doesn't mean that Erika's not there, right? Any home questions that you have, repairs, referrals, who should I call? Who can I trust? So for me, it's really about the know, like, trust factor with my clients. I don't want to just have a salesmanish relationship. I want to take the best care of them as possible and know that, I'm doing my part and helping them find, a lot of times it's a home. I do work with investors as well, but I want the people that I work with to love where they live, to make the space their own, to be so excited about this milestone in their life. And so that's my ultimate, I think what I bring to the table is just a genuine interest with other people and wanting to help them however that looks.
Well, I mean, you're obviously very passionate about real estate and being a top-notch professional in that industry, but people also like to pair with people they are kind of see similar interests. So
Yeah.
outside of work, what are the kind of things that Erika likes to do? What's tell us a little bit about Erika.
Yeah. So Erika is a dog mom, like a crazy dog mom. I have 3 large dogs that are my fur babies. So if you're the kind of person that likes to hang out at the dog park on the weekends, and maybe you have an Instagram for your pets, I don't know, maybe you're that level of crazy too. We're probably going to get along just great. I also am really passionate about traveling. Ever since I was a little girl, I just always wanted to see the world, and that's everything from natural beauty to other cultures and languages and just the way that people live in other places. I've always just been drawn to travel, and I have that wanderlust bug inside of me. So anything outdoors, that kind of stuff is right up my alley. I grew up as a competitive athlete playing basketball and soccer my entire life, played soccer all the way through college. So that's another passion of mine is, there is that competitive drive, that athlete in me that, I don't think that, the day I graduated college and my last game, it was like, now what? I've been playing soccer my whole life, now what? So then I was bitten by the coaching bug. I think it all just ties back to other people. That's a big passion of mine, just the connection. And like you said, aligning with other people with similar interests, whether personally or professionally. I'm a total people person and I love being social, making new connections. So it's a little bit about me.
Well, Erika, you got a lot to offer, and I think you're going to do well, really, really well in your industry. I really hope you do well, and I wish you the best. But to wrap things up,
Yeah.
how can people get a hold of you for if they have any other questions?
Yeah. So if you want to get a hold of me, I do have a website. It's erikachoriegohomes.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn under Erika Choriego, or my Facebook business page, and that's Erika Choriego as well. So I would love to connect with you, even if you're not in the Wichita market. If you have questions about anything real estate related, or you want to meet up at the dog park or anything like that, I'd love to connect, and I'd love to help you out however I can.
Perfect. Hey, Erika, I appreciate you really coming on the show. I hope to spread this message to everyone in my networks and as well as yours. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me, Oscar. It's been great.